This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh.
Yes, welcome back, listeners, to another edition of the LinkUp podcast. On this episode is just me, Mr. King, and Kana.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Yes, no guests this time, so we're just gonna have a proper conversation and link up as the show is supposed to do, you know?
But yeah, you know, we're doing this, we're flying solo for this episode. But man's not hot.
So that's really the way you plan to introduce this topic then?
Yo, I just find it amazing how big that crap get just globally, Jud.
It's an international phenomenon and stuff, like seeing the footage and whatnot. Kind of man, since the man decided to turn this thing into an actual proper video, now is like, and then I think it was in the video he had include some of the footage from his concerts and stuff like that, with the everybody in the crowd just sing along to this thing.
Mad.
Everybody know the ad libs to this thing.
It was maybe like what, a month ago. I first hear people doing the whole
and the thing go.
Yeah, that. I ain't even gonna try to mimic what the hell this man's saying, but
yeah, I ain't been paying that close attention to any neither.
Like, what the hell? What are these people they're talking about? Bam, man gone club now. Hit a full. I say, wait.
Wow, Dapaah play in the club too?
Wow, you take his joke.
You see, I don't go out, so I wouldn't be aware of these things.
Yo, you see how in the video clip, right? Like when they cut off the music and you hear
everybody
go, just like that. Even up here in Amsterdam, yo, the crowd those go crazy. My Suriname fellows going off, black people going off, white people going off. It's mad, dog.
The nonsense, like the foolishness that unites us all, you know.
It's crazy.
Crosses, gender boundaries and geographical boundaries and everything, like political ideologies.
I ain't gonna lie, right?
The tingle unites us all. I think this was what that's the moral of the story that we getting from this.
Yes, Jad. No, you know what happened? Stupid crap does unite us all. And the power of the internet. Commander, the man just put the whole interview was a fire in the boot thing with this whole
Charlie Slot.
Yeah, with this UK.
They did it like. I actually have seen some a little more familiar with the fire in the boots and stuff from this guy because like
this is the first time I see stuff like that.
This Charlie Slot guy, just his interview style and the way he was talking and the constant need for explosions and the booms. Like this man got that explosion sound effect and this man don't give you time to talk. Like it's just nothing but that. But like I know it from because there's this UK artist that I'm actually a fan of and I watched some a couple of his fire in the boots and it's like really dope stuff. Is a dude named Akala.
Okay, no.
He's a I guess you could call him like a conscious rapper and stuff. He's an independent artist and he lectures and stuff on Black history and stuff like that. So like this dude he's not just your average dumb rapper and thing like that. Dude is a little more educated. I mean, just to put it honestly, he's not Gucci gang. He's not Lil Pump. Like let's just put it that way. But I mean, dude is like out there and he says something like that. He just go into a lot of historical stuff into his raps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like teaching you history through his music and different things. Okay. He did this really dope thing where he like on the Fire in the Booth he had a comic book that was made to go along with it and it was like I forget what was the word he used. He described it as a thing like a spoken word opera type or something because it was like kind of classical instrumental music, not necessarily drums, and it was like a long play type of thing that was in the form of a rap. Like it was just really dope artistic stuff. Like it's not your typical rap basically, and that's what interested me about him, and that's how I kind of watched his Fire in the Boots where he went in there and spit down and previewed the book and stuff like that. But anyway, Michael Dapaah.
That is cool, but at the same time, it's a little disappointing when I had found out that it was a personality. Because I thought this man was really that stupid. Because they have people in the world that's really that stupid. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, there's love in hip hop and all those reality shows to show us and remind us of that on a constant. I don't watch them, but
yeah, but I mean, we all have to admit. I mean, we both have to admit the fact that Love and Hip Hop and MK Real House of Hollywood, Atlanta, wherever city it is being, is scripted to a certain extent.
Yeah, that don't change the fact that there's still these real people willing to do this stuff and like
But I mean still whether the personality is concerned and how he was talking and about stacks and them kind of I thought about
you protected it. Don't worry, the man was telling Charlie, like, don't worry, you protected it. And I'm like, okay then. Yo, honestly, this man remind me of me in my younger days. Like, the
ignorance,
the intentionally mispronouncing of the words, at least with them protected it things. It reminds me of back in the day when I used to say listen, because to me that was like the appropriate way to say the word. Like, don't put the T there if you don't want me to pronounce it. Like,
no, you said that. No, you just being ignorant. That was just straight ignorance.
I remember going back, like way back. This another after topic type of thing, but like when I was younger, and I was learning to read, like to sound out words. I remember I don't know why this one particular memory just sticks out to me, but I remember being so pissed when they was trying to tell me that THE is the and not THE. I'm like, listen, but how are you trying to tell me? Listen, what I see on that paper is THE. You tell me in learning to read, I'm supposed to sound out the words. Like Cat Williams said in his stand-up back in the day, when the man was saying this is a knife. You talking about a silent letter? Why is a silent letter, dog? Y'all telling me I need to sound out words, and now you telling me that there are silent letters that don't got sounds no more?
No,
Yo, I just being real, dog. How, based on the rules that these same educated people was telling me, I'm supposed to sound out words, and now when I get to this word, all of a sudden, THE is wrong.
What the fuck? Yo, I know. Wow.
To me, is the only logical conclusion. I, as a young child, with the information that these adults equip me with, which was sounding out words, that's how you read and that's how you learn and get this thing.
You get THE was a proper way to spell
THE. What is the sound that the T makes? T, according to me. What's the sound of an H? Like, THE is the only that's the only solution that you could come to that.
By that. Okay. All right. I can't necessarily say you're wrong, but
Michael Dapaah.
Yeah, put on your next song, bye.
Not a bad idea. Maybe I should, THE.
Ooh, that one catch me off guard, but all right, a good again. But no, I mean, it's all fun and games, but I mean at the same time, this man, I find it's cool going back on the whole Michael Dapaah thing. Well, that, if y'all didn't know, is the real fellow behind the whole Big Shack and
Roadman Shack.
His all other. What is Roadman Shack or Big Shack?
Man is Big Shack and Roadman Shack.
So that one same personality.
That alter ego is Big Man Shack and
Road Shack.
He's a roadman. Big Man Shack is a roadman.
Okay.
That's this man explanation and thing of why he giving. A roadman's basically like a street dude.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the man was getting into beef with the real Shack and thing like that. The man had an unofficial, like extremely weak diss track to Shaquille O'Neal.
This bring yo, that's something else I wanted to think. How it's serious when you a random nobody, you call yourself Big Shack, but because your song or your craft or whatever it is you want to call it gets so big, you got somebody like Shaquille O'Neal actually coming for you like that. Like he's Shaq went in a boot to put a diss track for this man, it's a real thing.
Yeah, actually listen to the Shaquille O'Neal one though.
I hear snippets of it. I was just like,
I just saw the one that he did to Shaquille and stuff like that. I called him Shaquille and I was like, okay, that was kind of funny. But I mean, what he was actually saying, it really wasn't. He didn't put no effort into it. I mean, he was clearly just joking around and thinking it wasn't no serious beef.
No, I don't think he want to make it seem like it actually is a big something and do something like really lyrical or something personal or something like that. Because then when you look, Shaq might take it.
It's a joke. Way. I mean, it's supposed to be a joke. But so he ain't trying to go hard and intentionally on that.
But everybody's sensitive in 2017. So
so Shaq, the one from Shaq actually had some bars in it though.
But
from what you see, right?
No. No, it was a Shaq song. It was like if you know Shaquille O'Neal as making music.
But the man been dropping music like from way back in the day. The man been dropping music, you know. Don't disrespect Shaq.
It's nothing new. Put it that way. Okay. Let me say it like this then. If you like the tune Shaq used to put out back in the day,
if you one of his core supporters and thing, you know.
If you're one of his core fan base, you probably gonna like this one.
What would the Shaq fan base be called? Like I'm trying to think of the name, like, you know, the Beehive and things like that for Beyonce people.
The Shaqs. Like, no, I'm not creative like that. So I wouldn't be able to tell you a proper one.
I need a little time to sit down and think on that one. Like I feel like it's gonna come to me, but I don't know. I ain't think that's breaking news that relevant right now.
No, but anyway, I find either way that whole Michael Dapaah thing. Your respect to this man is the man make a big tune out of bullshit.
And the man make sure he take his steps necessary so he could capitalize off of the moment and then make sure that he turn it into a legit track, put it on my iTunes, get it on the place, collect your royalties and get paid for them spins and shit.
Like if you even just go around Facebook,
man, got millions of plays there.
Go around social media, or even go outside. You listen to somebody with one of the young people making some kind of reference, whether they say the tingo and they continue in, or man's balling out, man's not hot, and because that's what they be doing. Because it's not hot, man's not hot. It's cold up here.
The man wear his jacket all the time. Man's not hot. I mean, that's the only appropriate way to describe this current climate in this country. Most of the time in this country.
Look, right. I hope this man copyright that phrase. Because I
but you know, like this might be a kind of translation. I've been seeing a variation of that. You know, man's not voting. that a new variation. You know, too. Fit the current climate that going on.
That is a Maarten spin. Man's not voting.
Yes, I know if you're ready to go deep into that topic and, you know, break down all of what was going on there as to why man's not voting. But
I mean, realistically, how long we in?
We 12 minutes in, man. We 12 minutes in.
Okay, no, let me, you know, we'll come back to that one. But what I wanted to ask you is that, you know, I've been seeing you posting some things on social media and stuff like that. So
yes.
What good? What been going on this week?
Well, 2 days ago, I believe it was officially, I made the first Facebook statement. I think it was 2 days ago. My memory is terrible. But
make statement. It's official something.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I just dropped a Facebook status that was announcing that the Block Is Hot Vol.2, the last tapes, is coming soon. I believe in the Facebook stats I didn't put the last tapes. I just said the Block Is Hot Vol.2. But it basically is the same mixtape. The last tapes is just kind of describing what type of project it is. And that being that it's a lot of, I don't want to say old music and stuff like that, but it's just a lot of things that was unreleased and things that they didn't make the deadline for me to finish mixing and getting everything ready and get it to sound up to par and stuff like that to be released. So like what it is, like I had a lot of verses and just things sitting down from when we recorded the first Block Is Hot. And I decided to put some of those stuff out, and some of them like I didn't have verses on yet because back then like I was incredibly slow at writing and stuff like that. So while we was recording them sessions, like the other people who was on the tracks may have finished their verses and stuff, but I just didn't get to finish mine, or I recorded mine and it was whack. So I was like, I don't think you should put this out yet. So a lot of them I revisited those tracks later and stuff, and spit new verses or updating my verses and stuff like that, since like I feel like I actually learned how to use my voice and vocal inflection and different things like that compared to like when I first started and when we was first recording those stuff, because then it was more about engineering practice, you know, like we was recording a lot of songs on a frequent basis, and for me it was just learning how to engineer, learning how to get reasonable quality and stuff to come out of my speakers and stuff at the end of the day. And yeah, so there's the Block Is Hot Vol.2, so that's now being released, or not now, but I mean this coming soon. The artwork is out. The first single has been put out, which was Nightmares Rolling. That one I just released it last night or yesterday.
And that's just for you, or that's
Nightmares Rolling is the first official song that's been put out there under the banner of Three Conscious Cats. Because before that, we had the song Is that we released that kind of inspired all of it. That kind of was the first time that the three of us were sitting down in the studio working on something and stuff like that. And that's what kind of spawned the idea for us to be like, let's just continue to vibe and see what else we can make. And, because that song turned out pretty well. Mm-hmm. And Nightmares Rolling was a song that I actually produced. Like, I made the beat to it. Me, along with Alto. Mm-hmm. So like I started it out, and then on his verse, when he comes into the song, the beat kind of changes and goes in a slightly different direction. You still can hear the bass of the sound and stuff there, but it changed a little bit. And that's when he came in and did his thing, because he's a producer as well. He knows he knows his way around the programs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Nightmares Rolling actually was it was recorded a while ago. It was recorded because, like, in the song, there's a reference to the coup in Turkey is pretty murky, but they did have families and stuff. Like, if you look back now, I'm sure that line in particular, people be like, what is he talking about and stuff like that, because that's some stuff that happened like last year. That
I mean, unless you was actually paying attention to it.
Yeah, it depends how much you're paying attention to like global news and what was going on and stuff like that. But there was just a lot of stuff going on in Turkey and with Erdogan and trying to hold on to power and whatnot. But
from time you had to say that, I was like, oh crap, the man talking about what happened. That's the only thing. If you know about the situation, or if you hear about the story, I think people would still get the reference.
Yeah, I would hope so. I don't know how much, like I said, I don't know how much people paying attention to politics and stuff like that. But
more than what some would like to admit,
I would like to hope so. Cause then that was like, it's not a good thing when you have a large society or just population of people that just not politically illiterate. I feel like that's what you see on Maarten to some degree, when you have a lot of people that don't necessarily know the ins and outs and how things work, and then it's just like,
just following the status or listening to somebody else's opinion and taking it as their own.
Yeah. Or just in like what we was talking about before, like people not necessarily going to source material and stuff, watching parliament meetings or seeing what like following stuff in detail of what is going on and whatever. Someone that was addressing the song as well, there was a line.
We see the the political climate back in St. Maarten keep trying to creep up. I'm trying to ask you what's going on with the thing. We keep going back that way. We won't get there.
You have any other questions regarding the Nightmares Rolling?
By like what who all gonna be on it? Oh no, okay, no. Who all gonna be on the Block Is Hot?
On the Block Is Hot Volume 2.
Who it featuring? Who gonna be on it?
Okay, like that's the track list at this point is basically more or less finalized. Like, yeah, I don't want to announce the release date yet, but I already have one in mind. But it's pretty soon. So I won't have y'all waiting too long before the mixtape comes out. But the features we got, I believe he is most prominently on the mixtape. He probably has the most songs on it, because from the Block Is Hot era, Wilderman was one of the main people I was working with, one of the people that was probably in my house like almost every day recording music and stuff like that. And the dude is a prolific writer in the sense, like the dude writes quick and he comes up with dope, catchy, witty bars and stuff like that really quick. So for him, you could, if I probably was a faster and better engineer back then, we probably could have done even more songs in the day and stuff like that. No, if I was working with this guy again, but
Okay.
So I still have, and even though I'm putting this tape up, there's still more stuff that I have from this guy that probably may be on a upcoming mixtape or something, because like the dude just had so much bars that he recorded here. I don't want to bombard people and make a super long album that nobody is going to listen to, so I feel like it's more appropriate to segment it and give it in specific chunks and stuff like that. But and it's dope stuff, so it's not necessarily that it's aging all the time. Like the way he writes is not like in the way that, for example, like Nightmares Rolling, it's very specific references. So that's a song that you could kind of, it's more obvious or more apparent to see the aging of the song a little bit, because I'm talking about news, things are going on in news. So if that isn't released like shortly after, people is like, they ain't really.
Yeah, they got no reason for you to say that.
Yeah, it's like, but the way he writes his stuff, a lot of it is just kind of in a timeless way. So just like it's dope punchlines or things that's personal. So it doesn't necessarily matter when it comes out to some degree. Like it would still be like, yo, this is the first time you hear it type of things, and it sounds dope. It's not like it ages that way. But yeah, Wilderman is on the mixtape probably most prominently. There's Original Brucha, a Surinamese dude that I been working with a lot recently. He records pretty frequently by at the KMG studios. There's Magnum Opus, Rena, a Dutch guy, Surinamese, born in the Netherlands, live here all his life, raps in Dutch, raps in English. Original Baruchi raps in English and Dutch as well, kind of. But yeah, who else on the tape? There's the Three Conscious Cats, so we got Alto and Cheat Code on it on a couple tracks. I probably should pull up the track list and stuff like that so I don't forget anybody, because
Well, I mean, ain't gonna be like the first time we gonna mention it and then plug it. So I mean, you can always, if you forget somebody, you can always big them up next episode.
yeah. But Original Barucha, Kidris is another dude, another Dutch artist that they have. He has a track on it. Maka and Fantel, there's some other Surinamese people that I used to work with during the Block Is Hot times and stuff like that. Got some of their work on it as well. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. Like Maka, Rena, Fantel, Wilderman, Original Brucha. I probably forgetting somebody, but
we'll find out.
that covers the most of it. But primarily it's a lot of Dutch artists that I'm working with on this. The only English ones would be the Three Conscious Cats. Those the only other English. Well, oh no, I lie. How could I forget this? Screw is like
Mr. Dots.
yes. Screw has an appearance on this tape as well. There's a track with me, Screw, and Magnum Opus. Like
Magnum Opus.
yeah. Magnum Opus means great work in Latin, for those who may not know.
Okay.
Or like the greatest work or something like that. It's like
Okay.
is normally used, you describe something as like your magnum opus if it's the greatest creation. So like,
Optimus Prime cousin.
yeah, but that's the name that he chose. And oddly enough, like I don't know if this is kind of like revealing a secret or anything like that, but on some tracks there's Rena on the album, on some tracks there's Magnum Opus. They are the same person.
Okay.
The reason for this, Rena only raps in Dutch. Magnum Opus raps in English. While listening to the tape, you'll hear the two tracks and the tracks from Magnum Opus and the tracks from Rena, because he's on a couple songs, and see if you can tell the difference. I don't know if that even makes sense. I had the same person, but yeah, and I feel like dude does a pretty good job rapping in English with somebody who's like, it's not his native language, and I commend people for trying that and stuff. Cause I'm like, I speak Dutch, but I'm not trying to be rapping in Dutch or nothing like that.
I can hardly speak it properly, much less try to make anything vocal of it.
Like, I'm reasonably fluent in the language, but still I feel like, nah, let me just leave that to the people who actually do that and stuff like that, who feel comfortable speaking that language. Like, nah, that's not for me. But yeah, I trying to think on, is there anything else that I could touch on now about the project?
How many tracks?
11.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah, it's
Why 11? Like what would make you choose a specific number to put on it? So why not 10? Why 11?
11, like, okay, the album will potentially have like 14 songs, but that will be including like 3
interludes or some shit?
3 bonus tracks, because there's no interludes. It's just, you only get the music on this mixtape. There's not no skits or anything like that, just straight music on it. But it's 11 songs, 3 bonus tracks that I want to include on it. I just want to call those bonus tracks simply because I don't want them to count towards the like actual official track listing.
So then why put them on?
Because they're dope songs that I feel like the people need to hear, that I don't want to like it. Those last 3 songs was kind of like last minute additions and stuff like that. It wasn't in the original track list that I had in mind. So like, I already decided on track list. Then later I got kind of the clearance to add some other stuff and thing that wasn't originally kind of recorded for this project.
Okay.
But I felt like they don't fit on something else. And with the type of project the Block Is Hot it's always been a heavy collaborative project. Like it's some of the songs I'm just spitting a verse on is not like I created every song. It's like there are certain songs that are like Dutch songs and I just come in for a verse and thing. And that's kind of the way this project is, because there's just a lot of features on it. But so that's why I felt like the other songs that I just kind of got the clearance later for, those are some of the Street Conscious Cat songs. And that's why Nightmares Rolling is included in one of those songs. So like Nightmares Rolling isn't actually going to be like, it's not in the official track list that I more see as like, okay, this is the Block Is Hot sessions, because I know that these are more recent songs. Like they're more recent. They're not necessarily from the same sessions as the Block Is Hot.
Yeah, okay. True that. So then you leave us know when you have more of a release date, when you're closer to an actual release date and all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah. There's some more things that in during the coming days and stuff that's going to be put out there, and some more stuff that's going to happen, and I feel like just want to let those things happen regarding the rollout of this. And I want to give everything away, but I just felt like it's important to let people know it's coming soon, and there's going to be more tracks being released soon, so you could expect that. But right now, Nightmares Rolling is the focus. Want y'all to go check that out. Some dope stuff, some lit music with a message. That's one thing that it is for sure. You may agree with some parts of the message, may not agree with some parts of the message, but I think the overall message of it, Nightmares Rolling, is like, just to explain the concept a little briefly for those that may not have heard the song. It's kind of, it talks about a lot of things that's going on politically, a lot of things that was going on in news in different parts of the world and stuff, just looking at the overall thing. And it's like, seeing all of this, I feel like you have no other option but to be like, yo, it seems as though Nightmares Rolling. That's why like the first song in the chorus, first words in the chorus is like, goddamn, I miss my dreams because Nightmares Rolling. And then just kind of going to explore that topic and flush out that idea a little further in the rest of the song, like giving different examples of why you see like, yo, things just fucked up, for lack of a better term.
Bye. Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds good. You just got, again, leave us know when you have more of a release date, so we got something to
look forward to, put on your calendars and stuff. Yeah, man. But
that's it. Unless you have anything else, that's all like questions I have without concern. Unless you have something else more you want to tell the people, or like, or you are, you got like you got something else coming up, or you got
like the only thing, like the Block Is Hot Vol.2, that's the main thing that's upcoming, because the True Conscious Cats project, that was one that I was actually expecting to release this year, but I mean, due to just scheduling and not being able to get everybody and stuff and get to put in the work on that in time, I felt like I needed to put out some kind of music and give the people something in the interim until we really could lock in and get to finish up the True Conscious Cats project before we release that.
Makes sense.
So it's like, this, it gives you a little sample, a little introduction to the True Conscious Cats, because there's a few songs from us on there, and then like you get the Block Is Hot, those people that you expected. If you listen to the first Block Is Hot, a lot of the artists that were on that album, they make their appearances here on the second one. So it's like, not everybody, but a good bit of the kind of original cast of the Block Is Hot, if you want to phrase it that way, they make a reappearance here. So you get more of those sounds if you was a fan of the first project, as well as some new stuff to kind of bridge the gap and prepare you for the next thing that's to come after this one.
Okay. Well, sounds about good. We go wait to see what I might come out with. But
so I hear your government fall.
My government. Time out with the false news. First of all, I never vote in my life. In St. Maarten, at least.
Really?
True. Yeah, because I was never home to vote. When I devoted to Maarten 2011.
How old were you when you devoted?
18. I was old enough to vote, but when I was there, the government was still like 2 years in from the 4-year term. But then when I deport is when they fall.
I vote twice on Simon then.
Nah, I only vote once. Nah, I lied. I never vote. But I only vote once. I never vote.
I vote twice on Simon?
Yeah, how you vote twice on Simon? We man ain't that far apart in age. And we come up the same year. So how you voted, I didn't vote.
Wait.
Unless you went back down.
No, I lie. No. I didn't vote twice. I voted once. But okay, true. Never mind. My memory is terrible. I can't
it looks so.
They could never bring me in to be an expert witness in no kind of crime, like something going on. You cannot trust my memory.
Where were you at the night? I'm like, bah.
Yo, you're asking the wrong person, you know.
I don't know. No.
Try to find witnesses for me, like maybe they could tell you.
No, but anyway, like I always say, that's not my government. I ain't vote nobody in. But yes, government of St. Maarten has fallen again for wait.
I believe this is the 8th time.
I had the picture. Is it 8?
I believe this is the 8th time because according to me, according to me, it was like every year since 10, the government has fallen. So that's why I was like, okay, 7, or now this is the 8th time, and before 2018. So it's like, what will happen in 2018? Maybe.
Really think about that. Since 2010.
It's a sad
government
state.
Has fallen
and this is the excuses that
8 times.
And this is the excuses and the evidence and stuff that the Dutch government used to be like, well, look, y'all wanted the autonomous status within the Dutch kingdom or whatever, and
we in 2017, we ain't even 10 years, and we had 8 different. Okay, government fell 8 times, but we had must be like what 2 different governments within those 8 times.
I mean, but like. As I like one of the lines in the song is glad I'm not an American. What a joke of an election. But I gotta be honest, back home government doesn't get much done. Same cowards been in power of our island too long. But they just change parties like panties. Keep singing the same song.
The
same people been in power, just switching positions back and forth.
There's a lot I don't understand. What going on? Listen, man. No wonder people, first of all, you're electing the same bastards inside the same position for years and then cussing.
Yup.
And then, cool. Government fall now. So it's not to say it's just government fall, because from my understanding, it was supposed to be that if government fall, that means the rest of the ministers give a vote of no confidence against the current government. So practically the opposition goes against the current government, if I'm mistaken, and then that would mean whoever forming a new coalition in the opposition is supposed to take over power. But now, from my understanding of what's going on in the situation in St. Maarten, the prime minister has the authority to call for new elections. So that means unnecessary money, unnecessary posters and shit like that being put up. People don't got roofs and you trying to get people to vote?
But there's also the whole thing of dissolving of the parliament, which is like...
I don't really know what that entails. I can't really speak on that. What I necessarily mean.
To my understanding of how the events took place, it was like there was the prime minister, he got the vote of no confidence, and that came... I believe the vote of no confidence come from parliament.
Okay, that could make sense. That could be.
To my understanding of how things went is like the vote of no confidence comes from parliament. So like, yo, we saying obviously like you ain't been doing a good enough job. You get vote of no confidence, and he like that basically says that okay, you got to resign. But the prime minister did not resign yet, and he has the ability to dissolve parliament. I believe it's Article 59. I don't know what exactly it is in the Article 59. I don't know the exact quota. Mm-hmm. But something I believe in Article 59 is like a loophole that allows the prime minister to dissolve parliament. He has the authority to dissolve parliament.
Prime minister or the governor itself? I was saying it, if I'm mistaken, I think I give the people wrong information there. I don't think it's the prime minister that called for elections. I think it's the governor that called for elections.
I don't know. I don't know who called for the elections. I really can't provide any clarification on that. Mm-hmm. But from what I know, the message that I've been heard, it was like, okay, Prime Minister is who is dissolving Parliament, so it's kind of like a way to, y'all don't want me here, but before I leave, before I officially formally resign, I'm gonna kind of get back at y'all type of situation, and I'm gonna dissolve this, so like y'all is a mess, and like it's just a lot of petty spitefulness to me. That's how it seems this whole situation went.
I don't understand how to put this. I don't understand the argument for the option of being independent. You know how they have a lot of people in Somalia like, yeah, they want to be independent, they want to be totally autonomous and away from the Dutch and this and this and that. Okay, cool. How you want to do that when this is the crap that going on?
This is stuff that we talked about already, though. Like, you want to really, like,
it's more is this, but this shit like this is more evident of why it can't fucking happen. It should not happen either. Look at the crap. Our own people doing it. How you mean?
I disagree. Reason why? Because the same people who we potentially trying to bring in their system, I don't want to say it ain't no better, because I feel like that's not an accurate statement, but you don't necessarily have the cleanest record regarding integrity and all of these things neither, but you want to be the ones to come in.
You talking about the Dutch?
Yeah. Dutch government, what goes on here? Like, these people aren't 100% transparent, and like all of this type of thing. There's a lot of things that they prefer not to talk about and stuff like that, but yet in our situation is like, when it's clear, it's obvious. Like, you can't expect a much smaller island nation to be able to compete at the same level and have this. We don't have the same resources and everything that the Dutch have, but is yet we being judged and viewed by the same standards as the Dutch. Kind of like, okay, we doing things correctly in this type of way, y'all need to be doing things correctly. If you look at the history of both of these countries and look at how they got to where they are, what all transpired and how they got to where they are, which is something that these people always seem to forget and things like that. And it's like, we have not had an equal run. So if you're trying to compare these two nations, these two countries, whatever you want to call them, it's a ridiculous comparison. I guess, yes, it looks bad on paper. It just looks bad in general when you see since 2010 government has fallen 8 years. When you just look at that fact, it's like, yo, it's ridiculous. When you look at the inner workings of what are led to the situations or the details of how each of those fallings of government like happened, I don't know all of them, because like, yo, you develop the same kind of desensitization, like when you see different tragedies and stuff like that happening in different parts of the world. At least I know that's something that I experienced, where it's like, yo, I don't have time to care about every instance of a bomb exploding or the terrorists happening over here, or like something popping off in the Middle East. Is like, there's so much things happening all the time and you're bombarded with information all the time. It's like, you can't care about everything. So I feel like the way Samoan politics been going, I feel like that was another one of those things where at least I felt a similar way. Now I felt like since Airman thing, that kind of reawakened my interest in Samoan politics and all that. I had me really paying more attention again. But I mean, honestly, before that was like, I was kind of done with politics. Like, y'all just seem to be fooling around.
Look, I feel what you're saying, right, with the whole comparison of the two different countries. But my thing is, if you want to be separate and independent, cool, there's no problem with that. But show that you could fucking do it. I looking at this more as a Holland, from like a Holland point of view, from how I think they would see it, at least.
And I understand that.
You was part of me. It's like a parent to a child, right? You was a part of me. You say you want to go out on your own and you want to do this and you want to live by yourself and stuff like that. Cool. Show me you could do it. But it's like, from since you leave the house, you just been fucking up straight. You've been moving from place to place, from different house to house. Every time
asking
somebody
me for money all the time.
Asking people for money for all the time. You get robbed and stuff like that. You leave the wrong people, come inside your house and fuck up the place, and then you got no more house no more. And then you want to come back and tell me, oh no, I doing okay. Oh, I doing fine. No, bullshit.
I see what you're saying, and I feel like it's a very apt and appropriate analogy. But
Bullshit. St. Maarten is not ready for independence. St. Maarten cannot handle independence. No, we can't do it. Not with the assholes that we have in power. And you know what's gonna happen? The same assholes will be there for the next 4 years.
I agree with your statement to some degree, because I personally, I just don't like the idea of being. Why go somewhere where you're not celebrated? Like, why go somewhere where you're tolerated and not celebrated? Where like the people don't necessarily want you and stuff like that. There's many different things with, if you look at certain interactions between Dutch government and government of St. Maarten, are just certain statements, certain sentiments that the average Dutch person would have. If you look on certain articles and stuff when it's regarding a St. Maarten or issue with St. Maarten and stuff like that, you see the opinions and the viewpoints that certain Dutch people have. Is like, I know it's not everybody. That is one thing I feel like we all should know. We all would acknowledge there are some decent people that have no problem, that love the island and all of this, but there is also a large part that's like, let's just get rid of them. I think it was like you yourself was having a conversation, let's just sell off the island or something like that. People had made that. Some people was like,
yeah, sell off the island, you know, just give it away or some shit.
Yeah, and it's like there's a lot of that. And even looking at the way these negotiations, if you want to call it that, regarding this integrity chamber, like, what kind of good-hearted person, if you would even want to think of yourself as that, would negotiate in such a manner? This is really strong arming somebody.
No, it is definitely true.
Like, you only get help to recover from a tragedy if
you agree.
You let us let us control your borders. And
in that regard, I completely
like, that's
agree
not
with you.
negotiations. That's strong. I mean, that's extortion. Like, what?
Yep. I'm not saying.
And why we want to hold on to this and cherish and like.
I'm not saying I want the Dutch to necessarily take over. I just saying that St. Maarten not showing.
Yes, we cannot stand complete. It's a small island nation. We don't have enough things set up in place to truly be self-sustaining and being able to like produce food for ourselves, produce clothes, whatever all the island needs. We don't have agreements or whatever set up in place now to be able to be like, okay, you know what? Forget you, Holland. We got everything set up, and so we ain't got nobody sending aid. If the Dutch wasn't there, like,
God knows what happened.
I get all of that, but to me, that does not mean it could never change. In a sense, that does not mean we cannot form new relationships, new alliances, so that in the case of something like this happening, we could potentially get aid from elsewhere and maybe have a partner that's a bigger country or something that actually respects the country a little more, that doesn't treat it like, okay, you just this thing that keeps taking up all my money, the spoiled child that just want all my money and stuff like that, and I just want to get rid of you type of situation. I feel like, I don't know, like I just feel like we could be respected more. Put some respect on the name of St. Maarten. Like,
yeah, but if we don't, we
gotta show something to deserve that respect. Yes,
or we don't respect ourselves in that manner. How we expect anybody else to?
But it's a process, like. It's a process.
Yeah,
I feel like, yes, you can't.
Where is the process, though? There's no... Okay, it's a process, yes, but where's the progress?
Yo, I feel like it kind of goes back to, like, things that we were talking about with the conversation with Cyril. Like, I think I'd say it then. Like, I don't feel as though we've fully been given a chance, because the same people who've been running things for 25 years, like the meme and stuff that came out where they're showing the side-by-side picture, the Daily Herald, I think it was, from like 25 years ago, and you see Sarah, Theo, William, and then people...
years.
And then you see the new picture with the new coalition or whatever, that guys like, yo, these same faces been here and thing like that. Yeah. Like, I feel like with that, you can't necessarily say, okay, or it's like a fresh start or whatever since the 2010. At least that's how I look at it. I mean, I would like to see St. Maarten when we truly have fresh faces in there, new ideas, new philosophies and stuff like that, new blood running the country. When you got the same people, like many people have addressed it and saying you can't be doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. Yep. And that's what been going on St. Maarten. And I feel like until we actually have those things, let's try something legitimately new and not just like, okay, it's the same head honcho and he got a different supporting cast. Yep. That's basically what been going on.
Yep.
Though the people in the lead roles been the same people for years and years and years. The supporting cast may have shifted a little bit. We changed colors and then we changed uniforms. But basically the same thing been going on. When you see a legitimate new influx of faces or like blood, whatever, ideas, all of that stuff, then I feel like we could say
my thing is I feel that okay, it can't be, we can't really expect a full party of new people. Because to me, to a certain extent, that's a little bit unrealistic. Because while new people and fresh blood is good, yes, you still need the older ones, or God willing, they're going to be some proper uncorrupted older ones. I'll be able to show the new ones. Okay, look, these are the ropes. This and this and this. You could do this. These are the rules at least. This is the realm you have to work in. Everything other than this is in your creativity.
But like that what I was telling. That what I was telling Cyril when he's like, yeah, you know, this seniority and stuff is kind of what been gotten. Like that's what got us to the position that we in now and stuff like that. So it's like, the kind of assuming that okay, these people is more qualified, kind of been doing it and they don't understand the system and things like that. But then it's like, look, do they really know the system? Yeah, they know the system in a way to how they can exploit it to their benefit so that they can maintain power and stuff like that. How can we stay in the same government by forcing the re-election and things like that? Gives people the opportunity to be like, okay, maybe now I could get back in. Maybe the prime minister, maybe now I could get back in by having re-elections to try to get in, since now they're trying to take me out. Cause that's basically what it is. Like this hostile trying to maintain power type of situation. Yeah. One of the clear signs of a healthy functioning democracy is that you have peaceful transitions of power. That's one thing that they always just talk about when they're referencing certain African countries and stuff like that, and how the way elections is be handled there, and how trying to call people dictators and stuff like that. Yeah. The smooth and peaceful transition of power is like, okay, you get 4 years. I may not agree with everything you're doing, but you can get your 4 years and things like that. Then we can have elections. Like there's a system, there's procedures to follow and stuff like that. This thing of where you got people who wasn't even officially elected by the people and things like that, but were holding certain positions and things like that now because of all of this appointing and switching seats and all of these things going on.
No, yo, that's my sentiments. I don't know, but
I feel like that's an appropriate summary of the situation because it's tiring. Because like it is.
I think that's a perfect way to say it. It's tiring. It's really tiring. Because look, is either William going to stay in office, either the prime minister going to stay in office, or going to be the opposition, who's same people have been running, who the government fell with like at least 5 out of the 8 times.
Yeah, but we're trying something new now. This time it gonna work. You know, like we haven't seen this combination of people running the country before, but this time it gonna work.
We're going to work together to move forward, and it's the same promise they was making, the same that all the other government was doing. And yo, imagine this, right? One of the parties, the 2 top people cannot pass a screening.
But that's also another thing I'd say up on Facebook, you know, plot twist. What if nobody votes?
That ain't gonna happen.
To me,
that ain't gonna happen.
It's what needs to happen.
Yes,
it's what needs to. Like,
a lot of things need to happen. The world.
I agree with you. It probably is not. It probably not going to.
The world needs to look out for climate change. The world needs to stop using non-renewable energy. The world needs to focus more on education. But you know what? It's not going to happen right now.
Why? Like, you're not wrong.
That's
you're
just the sad reality of it. Because you know what? Somebody down there needs a kitchen. Somebody down there needs a fridge. Especially now. Somebody down there needs a roof. So you know what these politicians gonna do? So I'll help you fix that roof. I'll give you a little like 2,000, 1,500.
You're getting a little cut of the aid. You know, the aid that comes through, you're getting a little bit.
Just vote for me. And that's what we're
like. I was having enough conversation like during this whole process of while the government been falling out, looking like you're gonna fall out, the vote confidence thing. Like I've been having different conversations with people and just looking at that situation of how this cycle continues, how it is that you have people in this situation that are so easy to buy out and things like that. When you look at the levels of poverty and the situation that a lot of people in, when you look at education levels that certain people might have, in being able to fully understand the political system and stuff like that. You have you have large segments of Saman's population basically being in an easily exploitable situation, a vulnerable situation, a place where people ain't necessarily not everybody might not be thinking long term or able to think long term because I got issues and things that I need to be handled today, tomorrow and things like that. So even though I might want to be thinking about the greater good and take a stand with my political vote or something like that. I maybe got some kids or whatever that need to figure out how we get into the end of the weekend. This type of situation.
But
and on top of that, like the poverty and education normally, not always, but usually go hand in hand. Is like you can't expect these people that don't have that a full grasp of the political system. Like
but
I hardly even got a full understanding of the political system and stuff like that. I mean,
but that's the thing. We choosing not to. The information is available to us. Like we could easily go and ask some questions or go and do some research and be like, okay, look, this one is really full of shit because this and this and this is how it's supposed to be, and he not doing it. But right now we just going like, all right, cool. This one called this one an asshole, and this one say this. You know what going on right now is a blame game. No accountability. You know how simple or at least maybe I find so. Maybe it's easy for me to say because I not don't want
like a big thing of what was here was
trash
like
talked and stuff like that.
Who was responsible for the aid and stuff? No, that being thrown around. Like, the minister of VSI was responsible for the aid and he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do, and like the prime minister wasn't aware of who was like controlling it or what was the situation and this and that.
Obviously, a ball or many balls were dropped, but.
Hence the vote of no confidence.
But so my whole thing is I think it would make the situation a lot easier with the people at least if somebody from the government, apart from Artwell, who ain't really had no say in nothing, would come out and be like, yo, my bad. It was my fault. I apologize. It didn't go according to my plan. I didn't expect.
This really was the plan. I was expecting these results, but it didn't go this way. Some kind of explanation.
I had want this. Like this was this is this and this and this was the plan.
This led to me having to do things this way so that people understand why.
Because of this and this and this and that. This is not an excuse. I just explain it.
That's what I've been saying with the border situation. Like that's what I've been saying. I'm waiting for the border situation, with the aid situation, all of these things that is just. Is not that much to give the people a little peace of mind so that they could maybe have a little faith, be a little transparent so that, okay, yes, it may not have worked the way we wanted to, but we was trying to do something and it didn't work out as expected. The people of the island could potentially maybe have more understanding with that. But if it's just nothing.
A couple weeks ago, because it's like,
if there's no official record, then it's just speculation.
But you see how they're gonna come back and bite the current government in the ass now? Because if they had come out and communicate with the people more, they would have more of a let's say a leg to stand on when it comes to this
re-election thing.
Exactly, with this new election crap. But now they ain't say nothing. Everybody getting information via or getting or thinking somebody opinion as facts. So now they got a whole bunch of stories out there. Nobody really know what happened, who gave what order, who was actually in authority, who position was supposed to be for what. And now nobody who gonna vote for any? Really and truly, who going? Especially if the current prime minister has to be part of it, because whether he's right or wrong, in whatever case,
key prime minister.
The current public opinion is that this man should not be the leader no more. And not necessarily my opinion or what we feel necessarily. Is just what being.
It seems like that. It seems like a lot of people have been expressing thoughts along those lines.
From the whole no vote or no confidence to what we've been seeing on social media to what we know from talking to the locals. So from that, my question is now, what's the point of calling re-election if you know this, you see in the current political climate.
But what was the other option? What was the plan B? If I don't, how am I getting back in power?
But you're not. Period. Like you.
But I'm a career politician. My job is being a politician. You can't tell me when my career. When you look at Maarten politics, dog, these people is career politicians. What I do is politics. I don't know. I can't say if before politics they never did anything else in their life.
They have to have something else apart from that.
Listen,
they got
how long has these same people been? What else have they been doing other than being in politics?
Yeah, but that's because they've been running some kind of. They either have some kind of side hustle from the political job. Okay, yeah, that kind of goes to your point.
You're answering your own questions now. Yeah. Like, why would I want to give all of that up, dog? It comes all of my side hustles, are allowed and enhanced by me being holding some kind of political position, holding some public office or whatever you want to call it. Like, why do I want to give that up? So how else am I going to get back in? Let me use the re-election, try to play some amazing campaign and stuff like that, sway the people, do something for the people, throw some party and stuff, make people forget.
You want dead, but so you want to get born alive or you want to get drowned?
U.S. election, pick your poison. You want Trump or Hillary? You want to grab him by the pussy, or you want deleting thousands and thousands of emails, which is basically committing crimes when it's an ongoing investigation, but you deleting evidence? But you still just like walking free and stuff? What? Okay.
Look, right, with the amount of lawsuits and things that Trump have, he should be locked up too.
Both of them. What? Again, I'm going back to the song. Glad I'm not American. What a joke of an election, because it was a joke, dog.
But
both of these candidates should not have even been candidates, dog. That was my whole standpoint from the beginning.
Yo,
both of them was a joke, dog.
The world is a very interesting place, from St. Martin to the United States to what's going on in like
all the scandals and stuff regarding the Clinton Foundation and the misuse of funds that being going from here and there and everywhere and all of these things, and these people just walking around free for like, come on, dog.
But I think I was telling you about this last week about the documentary on Netflix, on knowledge or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was talking. I was giving you a little rundown on like the UFO conspiracies and all that kind of thing. And it's funny because the Clinton Foundation was actually wrapped into that documentary as well. If I want to check it out, is a good time waster.
So the Clintons part of what, covering up aliens?
That's what they're saying, that they had prior knowledge to it, and they part of the cover up, but they was using the foundation to enhance certain dealings and all them kind of things. It's if it's true, is interesting, boy.
I mean, the Clinton Foundation was also in scandals with the Haiti earthquake and things like that.
Right. Yo.
Had it was crazy how there's like, you could just Google this stuff and see some of the connections. Like there was this one, I don't know if I had speak on it before on the podcast, but there's one lady who was responsible for kidnapping something like maybe 30 or 40 kids from Haiti and stuff like that, and was basically had a ring of smuggling these people to the US and things like that.
Last week, we could have been talking about that last week.
I don't know when he was talking about it, but
sometime he was giving me the rundown of it, yeah.
Like, that whole thing is crazy, and seeing that the Clintons was involved in getting this woman, her sentence reduced to like 6 months or some ridiculously short time for the type of crimes that she was committing, the amount of people she was just taking from families and thing, and telling the family, saying that this is all on the up and ups. Like, it's crazy stuff that goes on in the world.
All I know is the next coming months, because well, at least where St. Martin is concerned, I think the election's supposed to be in January, if I'm mistaken. So the next coming months going to be interesting. November, December, even up to January itself, from who are campaigning, who are buying what votes, allegedly, and who are doing what. Our fellow listeners, we're going to keep you updated on the political climate or what's going on in the Senate.
Yeah, we can try our best to. I mean, it's a lot to follow and keep up with all the details and all the intricacies of exactly what precisely is going on and who is betraying who using what and what.
You watch any of the parliament meetings?
I was watching some of them, kind of like trying to stay a little more up to date and involved in things, but
it's like
the last one I'd watched fully was the one where your brother was on and man was talking about everything. Like from the Nature Foundation.
I didn't even get to watch that one.
This man need to run for politics, dog. Cause like honestly, when this man was in there, I was just thinking like, okay, it seems like there's somebody that's competent that really
know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, somebody that's on top of you things that really like, because there was a point in the thing where they had he had give you presentation and all the people had they had the opportunity to ask questions and thing, and he had a moment to respond to the questions and thing. Was like Sarah was asking, like, you need any time, to prepare or whatever before you give a rebuttals to all the questions. Like, it's a good bit of questions everybody had and thing. And man, like, nah, man, I good. I, like, just off the top, he ready to provide answers.
He knows what the hell he's talking about.
And like that shows you that this man clearly, like, you can see that he on a daily is every day busy with what it is that he's talking about, so that he don't even need to necessarily be checking facts. Cause he just knows what the fuck is going on, at least regarding his fields and the things that he's dealing with. And from all the answers that he gave is like, yo, I don't understand why there's not a ministry of nature or something like that on the island in general, seeing as how like a lot of what he was saying and talking about the importance of the ecosystem and our environment and how that's interconnected to tourism. And if we don't have any environment, if you don't got a white sandy beaches, if you don't got a green hills and all of these things, who gonna want to come to the island and stuff like that? And you need to invest and protect these things and be serious about it, because
It's true.
that's our main resource to some degree if we are at least trying to do this tourism thing. So like there needs to be a little more focus on that. And I feel like somebody with it's clear that he's competent, he's qualified, and he's like, the man know what is he doing. Somebody like that I feel like needs to be involved in the situation so that they could affect change in a bigger way. I feel like I know there's certain restrictions or whatever that will come with being in government itself versus being able to work as a non-governmental organization and just do your thing.
But I mean, he trying to get him more involved and stuff like that. And again, big support to my brother on that, because God knows he's one of the only people. Okay, I can't say he's one of the only people. There's a lot of people. There's a good bit of even young professionals out there that working alongside my brother and helping him.
You're talking about he volunteers in a whole.
Yeah,
he was mentioning them.
Yeah, and just.
But it's like 4 people though. The man was saying like the organization basically like 4 people. Like I feel like that is ridiculous.
And
that's sad.
And underfunded. There are times my brother would go like
he brought that up as
being
well.
paid and thing like that as well. And is for somebody who practically taking care of the island on the nature of the island on his own with the little help that he can get. Is ridiculous how hard this man has worked, and they still do it regardless of what money he getting.
God, that's some of what you were talking about too. Like when it comes to the salvage work and some of the work that they was just doing, like in carrying out assessments and thing of like was the water quality and thing, diving in the places, getting skin rashes and all kind of thing like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, doing all the work that other organizations get paid 10 times the amount he getting paid.
And you were talking about the subsidy, I think it was 200,000 that the Nature Foundation does get from government, and that's like basically to cover the operational costs of the boats and stuff that it is used, and electricity pay a couple staff members and thing. But I mean,
it's not nearly sufficient to what should be given, and especially like you said before, like to an island that depends on tourism and depends on things looking all pretty and nice. That'll come at a price, But no easy work.
But yeah, I think that's a decent note to wrap up on, because like
like you like to say, tune in next time.
Yeah, but
something we must have something next week. What's going on with how things going right now? We gonna have some other news.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot going on with the country, at least in the political climate and stuff like that. There's a lot, so there's going to be more updates, more information are going to be revealed.
Bunch of tomfoolery, but like we say every week, y'all don't forget to like, share, give us your thoughts about it. If you have any body specific that you want to big up and you like to hear a conversation about, leave us know. We try to get them on the show. If you have anything specific to say about the political climate that you would like us to talk about, if you have any specific opinions, just leave us a comment. We'll try to address it next episode. And yeah.
And this episode, the outro will be a little different and things, since seeing the release of the latest Tree Conscious Cat song, I felt like, this one, instead of having our usual outro music, I wanted to give the listeners an opportunity. For those that may not have heard it yet, I wanted to give y'all an opportunity to hear the song and stuff like that. So at the end of this, you'll be able to get a full preview of the latest song by Tree Conscious Cats, Nightmares Rolling. And with that, we'll see you the next time we link up.
Bless up.
Don't know.
Goddamn, I miss my dream. Nightmares rolling. Can I go back to being a teen? Nightmares rolling. I smoke so much, might be a fiend.
I see is fuckery or reality. Every time I go to watch the news, I see another tragedy. Yeah, they do it for the money, but it's still just sad to see that cool in Turkey's pretty murky, but the dead have families. I wish I could go back to being a kid again. Back then shit was simple, it wasn't about making Benjamins. Nobody was thinking about what beam or a Benjamin. Now that's all memories, looking at pictures, reliving them. I remember being 18, thinking 20 was old. Now I'm here, I just ask myself, what does my future hold? No time for fear or looking in the rear until my whole life story's told. No matter what appears, you know I'm prepared to go hard for the rap game goal. Glad I'm not an American, what a joke of an election. But I gotta be honest, back home government doesn't get much done. Same cowards been in power of our island too long. They just change parties like panties and keep singing the same song.
Nightmares rolling. Can I go back to being a teen? Nightmares rolling. I smoke so much, might be a fiend. Nightmares rolling. These days my mug just stay me. These days my mug just stay me.
Yo, a lot of fuckery. Is this reality? I gotta watch the news, another tragedy. I know they do it for the money, but it's just so sad. That cool in Turkey's pretty murky, families be dead. Wish I could go back, be a kid again. Let me do my thing, fuck all you Benjamins. Nobody's fucking with that Beamer or that Benz you in. Relive your crooked memories until they make you beg. Remember 18, it's more like 20. Now me, myself, my future in a chokehold. No time for looking back until his story told. What finna come to light is purely in this rap's gold. You know it's hard to do, but we doing it anyway, because we got to. These niggas owe you a lot to pay.
Goddamn, I miss my dream. Nightmares rolling. Can I go back to being a teen? Nightmares rolling. I smoke so much, might be a fiend. Nightmares rolling. These days my mug just stay me. These days my mug just stay me.
The world is at war with ISIS, Venezuela's in crisis. I'm not trying to sound righteous, but that damn more made me write this. My request might sound childish, but all that I want is peace. So can we stop all the violence before we are all deceased? And I'm talking about globally, not just areas close to me. Earth is suffering woefully, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Change will come soon, hopefully. I can smell it like potpourri. We are waking up socially, just stay blessed.
Goddamn, I miss my dream. Nightmares rolling. Can I go back to being a teen? Nightmares rolling. I smoke so much, might be a fiend. Nightmares rolling. These days my mug just stay me. These days my mug just